Nation. We are in a really fun place.
Yes, it's considered the happiest place on earth, Disneyland.
We love Disneyland. Now, we are here for a reason, so all I'm going to say is stay tuned, watch this whole call, you won't want to miss it.
And can I have another announcement
Okay.
along the lines of things to stay tuned for?
Okay.
We are launching a podcast. It's going to be another way to get this kind of information to you in a medium that's just easier for you.
Yes, you know, we know that you can't always watch a video, and maybe you want to still know what's going on with Solex Nation. So you can listen to our weekly updates. We will have them available directly after the call. So if you're driving to work the next day, you didn't get a chance to watch the call, you can listen to it.
Yeah, get the latest podcast. We're going to put details about how to access that podcast here on this YouTube call in the comments.
We
so
will.
Check those out.
Okay, we're going to make this fast because we know it's loud here. We want to also show you something really cool. This is a license plate from Stacey McNamara.
Stacey, wonderful job. We love the license plates coming in Solex, AO Scan, and every version of that.
Yes.
Congratulations, you get your Solex silver coin.
Yes, we're
right?
going to send you a coin, and welcome to the Legacy Group.
Yes.
Now,
we have an event, Legacy Group,
We do.
June 10th.
And that's a virtual event, so if you're in the Legacy Group, you are invited to that event, and it's going to be probably 2 to 3 hours long.
Yeah.
Nothing like a Dave Discovery, but we will have some new announcements that you won't want to miss.
And some expertise again, as usual. People
Education.
sharing some wonderful information.
Yes. Okay, what else do we need to tell them today?
I know. We're like,
Let's see.
this is a great. We're so distracted by all the good things that are happening here. No, comp plan. Let me mention comp plan. The compensation plan is live now. As of yesterday, you will now see a new widget, 2 new widgets in your back office. An updated business snapshot with a bunch of tiles. Click on the tile, flip them over, figure out what they're about. The other is the rank advancement, which is a barometer or a speedometer into whatever rank you're shooting for, so you can check that out as well. Also, by clicking on that one, you can flip it over and you can find out the details of where you are in the progress toward whatever rank you're shooting for.
Okay, now on this call, you're going to see a video from Lauren. It's been asked for many times, and so we're showing it here, and we're going to have it available for you on YouTube, and it's a shareable, so you can send it to people. And what it is how Solex came to be. It is basically the story of Lauren's life and how he came into this technology.
Yeah, it's so cool to see just the real elements that came together to make this what it is.
Yes.
And this month is a special month.
It is. It's Autism Awareness Month. And so we're going to show you a story, tell you a story about a wonderful member of our Solex family. She has 4 autistic sons. And so we're excited to share her story with you and how she uses AO Scan with her family. And then, you know what, before we go, let's announce the top enrollers.
Okay, let's jump into it. We'll share the top enrollers right now.
Hello guys, Jake and I are here, not at Disneyland.
No, Kai,
How did
Shelby,
that
and
happen?
Lauren, yeah, what the heck? We're gonna totally do a trip without them, not invite them.
So we get to do the top enrollers. This is for the week of April 4th through April 10th. We have a tie for the top enrollers. So the first one is
Leslie Zwick.
Good job, Leslie. And Rita Dickinson. So both of those ladies will get a Solex coin. Welcome to the Legacy Club. We're excited for you.
And we also had a contest last week where we asked you to comment on last week's weekly call on what do you do to keep your gut healthy, or what's your favorite things to do for your gut health. And should we pick some out?
We're going to give 3 boxes of X away to randomly. We have people that have commented, and we have your comments in here. So we're going to pick 3 lucky winners that get a box of X. All right, Jake, pick your favorite one, or the lucky one. That's what I'm going to say. Lucky.
Okay, I've got Pam Kirkpatrick, and do you want me to just read it? Should I just read what they say?
Absolutely,
Okay,
yes.
awesome. This is great. For gut health, I use Inner Voice, a lot of Cephi. I also take prebiotics, probiotics, and postbiotics. I recently had a sinus infection that just would not go away, even using my AO scan constantly along with all sorts of natural remedies. Regretfully, I had to take antibiotics to clear it up, which I know destroys your gut flora. So I will start the process of rebuilding it again, which is a very long process. I am trusting that using my scanner will speed up this process. Thank you for the great call tonight.
That's awesome.
That's great.
And you know what? That's really good feedback for those of you that are familiar with antibiotics and prebiotics and probiotics. That's really good information. Thanks for that comment.
Oh, and congrats, by the way, they're going to get X by Solex sent to them.
Absolutely. The next one that I drew, lucky April Suggs. She said, I like using apple cider vinegar and herbal teas to help with my gut issues. Also, cutting out gluten or any grains really is an excellent idea to implement from time to time, or even permanently. Great advice. All right, we got one more, Jake.
More?
Don't put that back in.
Oh, I put it back in.
What if they win twice?
They can win twice, yeah.
All right, let's mix it up. One more lucky winner, box of X. We can't really see. I don't know why he's turning his head. Ooh, this is a good comment.
This is a nice little novel here. Okay, it's Steve Zaghetti. I hope I pronounced that right. Really cool last name, by the way. And he says, thank you for another fantastic weekly update meeting from Solex. Oh, thank you. I definitely try to make my gut more healthy by several different methods, including taking Ionix Gold and applying the Solex Ionix power patches where I need them on my body and on devices that emit EMF. Get some sunshine whilst listening to my inner voice and wearing the Lightwave optical lenses. Following the blood type diet so I can avoid foods that contain lectins that increase inflammation. And also take the Dodamo Personalized Nutrition Genoma Nutritional Supplements. Scan all the vitamin and mineral supplements that I take into my AO Scan device and do a quick scan to see which supplements resonate best with me in order to give my liver and kidneys some rest. Make fermented organic vegetables, great for the gut and marvelous stuff. Drink reverse osmosis remineralized or distilled water. Would love to get a Synergy Science Echo H2 machine. Replace sugar where I can with monk fruit sweeteners. Bath and shower in chlorine-free filtered water. Eat certified organic non-GMO foods. And have a wide-ranging and changing phytonutrient-rich diet. Oh, this is a lot. This is
guy's
great.
got it dialed in.
These are all things that I need to do, that I need to try. Smile and laugh as much as possible and focus on being happy. Be grateful for everything that comes into life, everything good that comes into life. Forgive people and things that caused me to not feel so good. Plan for a much better future for everyone, seeing friends and being helpful and kind to people that I interact with. I do this because I have type 1 diabetes since I was 15 years old and am trying to heal my pancreas completely and say goodbye to daily blood tests and insulin injections. Thanking you kindly, everyone at Solex, for everything you do, and I hope you keep making the very interesting and educational weekly update videos. Love to you all.
Wow, that's an awesome comment. Lots of great information there.
So many great ideas too.
Absolutely.
If you could learn from a few things that he does that could work for you, oh man.
And if you haven't already, go in and look at all those comments because there were a lot of great comments. We wish we could give all of you a box of X because we had some awesome comments. So thank you all.
Yeah, thank you. Should we get with the call, I guess?
On with the call. See you later from Not Disneyland.
Yeah.
April is World Autism Awareness Month. Here at Solex, autism, as well as all special needs, are very near and dear to our hearts. As you know, Solex began because Lauren was trying to find a better life for his special needs son. We want to highlight today Stephanie McBride. Stephanie is part of our Solex family, and she has 4 autistic sons. She's talking about her youngest son, Ryder, who is 17 years old in this example, and we're just going to read her testimony to you now. The new body systems preview has made me so emotional. I scanned our 17-year-old nonverbal son with severe autism and a rare genetic disorder. I never realized how many feelings he has and is dealing with on a daily basis. Just because he cannot speak or express emotion doesn't mean he doesn't have them. He functions as an 18-month-old. Here are just a few of the heartbreaking emotions he's experiencing: fear, vulnerability, loneliness, agony, which is under digestion, which makes sense, discouragement, uselessness, resistance to change, fear of abandonment, fear of the future, suppressed feelings, desire to run away, self-confidence, self-expression, self-destruction, sadness, shyness, mental anguish, painful feelings, deficient, intellectual conflict, dependent, difficulty with change, compulsive, and more. The good thing is he loves listening to the inner voice frequencies. It calms him. Thank you, Solex, for helping us come to know and understand our son's emotions. Now we have the tools to help him live a happier life. Thank you, Stephanie, for sharing that personal testimonial with us. We are grateful for you and so thankful for this scanner and for all it can do to help our loved ones.
We adopted our son, Michael, at 9 months old. And Michael came with a pre-existing condition called cerebral palsy. As young parents, we were just delighted to have Michael in our lives. As Michael started to grow over the next few years, the cerebral palsy became more and more evident. And about the time he started preschool, around 4 or 5 years old, Michael would walk with his arms above his head, kind of like this, kind of bouncing off the walls to maintain his balance. And so it was evident he was headed towards that direction to where a wheelchair would be coming up pretty soon. As parents, like any parents, we just wanted Michael to have the best life possible. And so we traveled to Mexico, England, Germany, various places here in the United States to look at therapies for, children with cerebral palsy to see if we could improve his quality of life. And everywhere we went, we were met with pretty much the same explanation. There is no cure for cerebral palsy. The best we can do is just exercise and diet and things like this to help improve the quality of life that he has. And as parents, that wasn't good enough. We felt like there had to be something more. There had to be something greater that could help. And when we went out of the country, Germany specifically, Mexico, even one trip to Japan, there was more hope there. There were more things in the works. There were more therapies available. And so that allowed me to start looking into different directions. Now, this is back in the 80s. The internet wasn't around. And so we were going to trade shows. We would go to health shows and health fairs. And I became introduced to a book called Mega Brain by Michael Hutchings. And that book became my new Bible, at least as far as it came for therapies for my son, Michael. And in there, through that book, I came across different therapies. And one of them was from the Ohio State University of Medicine, Dr. David Clark, Dr. Margaret Patterson, a neurosurgeon out of Scotland, Aberdeen, Scotland, Dr. Persinger at Laurentian University in Toronto, Canada. And these three doctors had been pioneering different therapies. They didn't know anything about each other. Dr. Clark was working with spinning a child in a chair to help develop the inner ear. And he found that this was helping with all sorts of neurological issues. Dr. Persinger was using lights and different flashing lights to the eyes to help stimulate left and right brain connection. And then Dr. Patterson, a neurosurgeon, was developing microcurrent that would be applied just behind the ear or to the earlobe that was helping the brain create new neural pathways. Well, these three things were pretty important to me. And so as we looked into this and started working on this, we eventually developed a machine that later became known as the Theta Chamber. And Michael was our first recipient of that technology. And what we did now, at the time we had this, Michael was now almost 8 years old. His cerebral palsy was becoming more and more an issue in his mobility. And at the end of that, it was a 21-day course based on what Persinger and Clark and Patterson were doing. There are different protocols. And so we did that for Michael for 21 days. And at the end of that 21 days, there was a little bit of improvement in Michael. I mean, he seemed to be processing information faster. His mobility was a little bit better. It was the next 6 months that were magical. In those next 6 months, Michael's mobility became almost normal. He transitioned from handicapped school to a normal school. And Michael is now 40 years old, will be 40 this June, and he's a second-degree black belt, speaks multiple languages to some degree or another, and physically, you would have never known that Michael ever had cerebral palsy. All right, so that whole experience was life-changing for our family. And I realized at that time that there were things that we didn't know here. And that led me on this journey, which has brought me to where we are today in 2022. We learned about frequencies. We learned about different therapies. We learned about our belief systems. We learned about what we say to ourselves, how all of these things affect us. Well, in 2008, my wife and I were in China attending a medical convention, and there was a booth there from Russia that had developed a scanner that scanned the body through frequencies through the brain. Well, this was my new real big interest. And we went to their booth. We experienced a scan, a digital body scan with these big transducers on our head. And it nailed us. It showed us everything that was wrong or awry in our bodies to the T. Well, we later worked with that company and acquired the rights to bring that to the United States. And we did that until about 2012. And then when technology had advanced, in other words, Windows 10 came available, the software wouldn't be stable anymore. And as we worked with the company, they had decided to bag it. The software had been written in the late 80s, early 90s on software that nobody supports anymore. And so they basically says, you're pretty much on your own. And so over the next 2 to 3 years, we rewrote all of that software, all of their information on today's technology and for today's platform and software. And it became the AO Scan. And we've been promoting the AO Scan since 2012. And it was a big system. It was a $30,000 scanner that was in a doctor's office, and you'd go in and you'd sit there and you'd be there anywhere from an hour to 3 hours depending on your scan, based on the old technology. Well, we were able to bring that technology to where we could get it done with much smaller transducers, and we could do it in about 45 minutes to an hour. Well, part of that scanner was inner voice, and the inner voice is where we record about 10 to 20 seconds of your voice, and we analyze 2,000 frequencies over 12 notes. And we're looking for frequencies that are out of range, way high or way low. And as you listen to those frequencies played back in your headset, it helps with your emotions, which helps with some of the other physical issues you'd be dealing with. Well, we thought that would be an amazing tool to put into the hands of as many people as we can. If you can get a hold of your emotions, then your physical issues aren't as dramatic and you're able to deal with them better. And so we started working with a mobile device that just had the inner voice portion of the scanner on it. Well, as that became ready to go to market, and that was about $2,000 for that device, and then a monthly fee of about $200 a month to maintain the software. We realized, well, maybe we can add a little bit more of the other scanner to this, and we added a little bit of vitals and a little bit of comprehensive, and we introduced it. And that went for about a year and a half. And then we had people come to us and say, we need to get this out to the masses. And that's how Solex came to be. The full $30,000 scanner in your hand that you can now take and share with the world.
Hi, I've been here at corporate for about a week, and we've just been having a lot of really interesting discussions surrounding the scanner and people's questions and things that they get nervous about or have just wonder about. And one of the reoccurring themes that I've heard is that everybody wants to know, well, what do I look for as far as causes? How do I find the cause? What is the cause? How do I deal with that? And in looking at a bunch of scans this week, the thing that hit me is that you can have causes and then you can have causes of causes. For example, somebody could have different digestive issues and food sensitivities, and looking at that, you would say, well, let's just get it where they digest a little bit better. But then when you think about, well, why aren't they digesting better? You have to find the cause of that cause, which oftentimes is that the stomach is not making enough acid or pepsin, or there aren't enough enzymes in the system. And so then you say, okay, well, we'll get them on some hydrochloric acid and some enzymes, and that'll take care of the problem. Well, not necessarily. What's the cause of that cause? And a lot of times that goes back to adrenal stress. And adrenal stress can bankrupt the body of minerals that are needed on all platforms in order to perform properly. So now you have a cause of a cause of a cause. And then if you back up a little bit more before that, I don't know what the exact percentage is, but in my mind, it's in the 90s somewhere, as far as 90-something% emotion being the background cause of so many things in the body. Now, it's kind of interesting because there's times where you can have it where there's a direct cause, like Shelby and I were talking earlier about maybe somebody gets exposed to chemicals, okay? They know that week they got exposed to chemicals. And so on your scanner, you start to see frequencies for different effects in the body. So you start to work with those and start to help to eliminate those frequencies or improve them so that they're a higher gold standard and the body can start to recover energetically, which obviously helps it physically. But at the same time, you still have to address the emotions. Because think of it, if you were exposed to chemicals and you knew that they were harmful, possibly deadly, what immediately starts to happen? The adrenaline goes up, the emotions pour in, there's fear, there's anxiety, there's worry, possibly lack of sleep, all kinds of questions. The need for consultations, possibly with a doctor, to find out the best course of action. All these type of things are going to elevate the body's emotional liability. And so if you were just to address the chemical aspect of the situation, you wouldn't be addressing the sidewinder of all of the emotions that have come up the same week. And think about the trickle effect that could have on the rest of the body. I know from personal experience that when my daughter was so ill years ago, she had so many emotions surrounding the situation that it got to the point that the doctors threw their hands up and told her she had Munchausen's because she was just wanting attention. Now, in her case, she obviously had a massive case of parasites that needed to be addressed. But at the same time, having gone through such of an emotional experience of not knowing what the problem was, the emotions that she went through affected all kinds of other systems in her body. And so she started showing symptoms from all different areas. Now, the problem is that in Western medicine, and although the last couple decades, we just see a lot of effort put into treating symptoms. In fact, I think you can pretty safely say that most people, when they have anything go wrong anymore, whether it involves pain, or any kind of situation health-wise, they want something, they want it now, they want it to go away as quickly as possible. The problem with that is that if it only treats the symptoms and doesn't find the cause of the cause of the cause, the symptoms can just reoccur. Or there can be symptoms in other places of the body that start to manifest. So I would really strongly, anybody that has a scanner, to just be comfortable with your scanner. Don't be overwhelmed by all the information. Be comfortable with your scanner and start looking at what is obvious. But then look at the cause of that, and then start looking at what comes up in your scanner that could be side causes or background causes that are contributing to it. And one of the most important things is do not ever, ever, ever discount how big of a part emotions play in what people experience, what symptoms they start to develop, and how it can even manifest in the body physically. So here again, you go back in your scanner, what's one of the most valuable tools you have? Your inner voice. And then a lot of the playlists that you can do with your Cephi. Those two things can help so much. And then don't underestimate either the body's need for minerals. Trace minerals are used in all 9 body systems. And you just can't even discount how much the body burns through those minerals when under stress and how you can have symptoms that show up because of it. Your Solex Ionics Gold is one of really, really good products you can use. And I don't work for corporate, so it's not that I'm just pushing Solex Ionics Gold. It's just that I know it's an excellent product. A lot of you may have other mineral products that you prefer. Whatever it is that you prefer, make sure that you're using it and using it well to help your body cope with the lack of minerals that'll happen because of those emotions. So try to dig into the cause of the cause, the cause of the cause of the cause, and always consider the emotions to be one of the causes that has to be addressed, no matter what the issue is in the body. It could be current emotions, it could be past emotions, it could be ones that are just starting to develop. But no matter how you look at it, it is always one of the main causes. So I hope that this helps you with some of those questions that you've had, and look forward to talking to you again soon.
Okay, we're ending the call. You get the wizard hat, I get the mini ears. How did this happen?
I think it's appropriate. You know, seniority number one.
Yeah, he's going to claim
seniority.
age before beauty, for sure. Only a confident father of 4 daughters would wear mini ears to end this call.
Or a CEO of a really great company.
Yes, a very confident CEO. I'm comfortable in my own skin. All right, we're ending this call. We're going to do something. We're here at Disneyland. We're going to do something very unique, very special for Solex. This is what the deal is. We're going to start a giveaway. The end of July, the person with the most active QLAs as direct QLAs to them, their first line.
By the end of July. End of July.
They're going to win 2 days in the park, 3 nights hotel at a Disney hotel, and airfare. And you're going to come.
For 2 people.
Yep. For 2 people, you're going to come. We're going to party with you. And
let's make it sweeter. The 3 QLAs with the largest number.
Of course we do it in 3s.
With someone to come with them.
Yes. So you and somebody else, the top 3 with the most active QLAs on the direct line, by the end of July, you're winning this trip. We're going to be with you. We're going to have some fun here at Disneyland. Let's kick things off. Let's get things going.
Come and be with us, guys.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.
Oh,
good.
Tomb of them. I love filming Tomb of them. So if I'm doing Tomb of them, I'm just burying the subject, right?
That's right. Tomb of them.
Telling people, don't look at your head fell off, man. Put your things back on. That's ridiculous. All right.
We both had 2 enrollers. 2 people enrolled this week.
And from the top.